Trying to get. Here we go. Hey, hey, hey. What a good song. Walker Hayes. Yes, he is. AA with Melinda and Mason at 9:10. We're on the radio and we're live on Facebook like we are every morning at facebook.com/Melinda and Mason. Go to it, like us, listen to us on the radio, watch us on Facebook.
Yeah, follow us, share the videos, do what you can. We'd love that.
We sure would.
We'd love that.
Straighten that up just a minute.
You know, this morning we talked a little bit about the very last
phone booth in New York City.
It came down yesterday.
Yeah, it was sad. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
At one point, America had 1 million phone booths, and 20% of those phone booths were actually in New York City, apparently. That's a lot of phone booths, and it's gone now. And we also had a story about 2 kids that called the police on a man who was flipping a knife around.
Oh,
he was flipping a knife back and forth. Turns out it wasn't a knife.
It was a flip phone.
It was a flip phone.
Let me see if I can show this.
So we were actually talking about 2 different obsolete, I guess, technologies. That's the very last one.
That's it.
That was it. That was the last phone booth in New York City.
Wow.
And I'm sure there's another one somewhere, some
might be one in
place.
Shreveport Bossier.
You know,
that was in Times Square.
Yeah. But it made me think, what are some of the other things that have gone obsolete? Things that were as prevalent as a phone booth, for example.
Rotary phones?
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, besides phones in general, because we got those flip phones, rotary phones, phone booths, you know what I mean? Things like that. And everyone used them. Everyone. Like we were talking earlier about Superman, the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, that movie. If I played that for my daughter now, would she even know what he keeps going into? Because every time he goes to change into Superman, he goes into a little glass square.
Yeah.
And on every block, there's a glass square right where he is, right? And that's
just zoom in and zoom out as Superman.
And that's the way it was. They were everywhere.
That's right.
Right? Anytime you needed a phone booth, a phone, you could get in there. I watched Dumb and Dumber the other day, and they have that big phone booth scene where he's in there and then he like smashes his face through it. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're just done with them. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to see what kind of things were once the norm and are gone for good, like the audio cassette.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
I still have cassette tapes.
Or the record player?
Yeah, I still have a record player upstairs. Now, the record player has come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in a small...
But as a retro cool thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would say it's the same thing with like a tape recorder.
Oh,
or a tape, an audio cassette. You could go find a Walkman somewhere at some pawn shop, and find a big case of tapes. But I mean, that's what we used to have to do.
Yeah.
It's like a case of tapes, like a briefcase.
Oh, I still have one of those. I'm going to bring it up here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when I was 10 years old, my daddy gave me a cassette player,
a
recorder for my birthday.
Yeah.
So I went around, I interviewed everybody thousands of times.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite meal?
Uh-huh.
And then I loved it. I got hooked on that.
Yeah.
Then I added some headphones to it. Like, yeah.
So you could walk around with.
And I had found some of those original cassettes of me, Melinda, at 10 years old.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That's very cool. We should play that. We should play that for sure. But yeah, I mean, those things, and when you're going through it, when you have them, you really do feel like that's going to be there forever. At least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like when CDs came and knocked out the audio cassette, I was like, well, CDs, that's the end all be all for the rest of eternity. We're going to have CDs because it couldn't get better than a CD. Now CDs are just as obsolete.
Yes.
I mean, it is completely gone, taken over by MP3s, which is basically nothing, which I kind of miss, having CDs or having a tape or having a record player. I inherited my parents' record collections.
You did?
Yeah. When basically other things came along, they just said, yeah, you can have these. So I have like 6 foot long record boxes.
You hang on to those.
All that kind of stuff.
They're worth
and then of course I got shelves of tapes, and then I had books of CDs, right? It just keeps getting smaller. It was like a photo album of CDs.
With the little CDs in there.
And now I got nothing.
Yeah.
But I have all the music in the whole world. I could pull up any
here,
song.
Well, my phone's up there, but yeah.
Any song I want, anywhere at any time. And it's basically right inside here. And I just think that's crazy. And you brought up a fax machine.
I loved fax machines.
That was a big deal.
We used to, I'm embarrassed to tell you this. My late partner, Jeff Emmett, and I, when we got our fax machine, we went to the photocopier and we pressed our faces down. And we took pictures of our profiles, our faces. Then we took those pieces of paper and we faxed them to everybody we knew that had faxed them.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. And again, you kind of think it's never here. And you kind of think it's never going to get bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the pinnacle of technology, you know?
And then, I mean, we still have an old fax machine here.
Do we have a fax machine?
And my husband still has a fax machine in his office.
What do they do with it?
Just in case, because there are some people that still want to fax.
What?
I don't know.
Fax what?
Just orders.
Like the actual.
Yeah.
Aren't they all created online now?
Yeah.
I mean, on a computer?
Just in case. It's a backup.
Yeah.
It's a backup to the backup.
How about this one? Carbon paper.
I love smelling carbon paper. The mimeograph machine, and we would put it up and we'd have purple noses.
Yeah.
Because it smelled so good. Yeah.
Carbon paper was everywhere.
I loved it.
I remember taking tests in school with carbon paper.
And you would put your test up and smell it.
I don't know if I smelled it.
Oh, I know you did. Everybody smelled it.
But I remember having to write stuff, and then like I would get to keep a copy. The copy that would get turned in, you know, that kind of whole thing.
Yeah. Where did all that go?
Yeah. Credit card imprinters.
Oh yeah.
That starts to make me feel pretty old.
Let me find a picture of that.
That starts making me feel pretty old when I think about the credit card imprinters. What was
it called? Imprinters?
Yeah, a credit card imprinter. The thing where you go like this.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
You put the piece of paper down and it goes.
Oh, here it is. You know, hold on, I'm going to show you.
And
all right.
And that was in my lifetime. Like I used to go to Taco Bell and remember my parents paying, you know, with that kind of thing for, you know, $4 worth of burritos and tacos.
Wow.
You get out the credit card machine or.
It was commonly known as Zip Zap machine or a knuckle buster.
Yeah, knuckle buster.
A manual device by merchants to record credit card transactions before the advent of payment terminals.
Yeah. I actually still used one when I opened up my first gym. I used to run health clubs and we had it to make sure that they had a real credit card and they weren't just giving us a number. So I still used it for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, since then, now I can just tap my phone. That's what I do when I go to the vending machine now. A vending machine change is almost obsolete because I just tap my phone against that vending machine.
Change.
I love all these things. You love the smell of carbon paper.
I do. I smell it. I can remember. Remember those markers that smelled like grapes and what were they called? Scented markers.
I don't know. I bet they still have those though, don't they?
I don't know, but they were like back in our day.
Yeah. Other things they have listed here. Mimeograph, you brought that up, right? The mimeograph, the paper ledger, the Rolodex.
Yeah.
I just watched a movie, The Boy Who Could Fly. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
The Boy Who Could Fly. The girl falls off of something and has to go to the hospital, or he has to go to the hospital. Somebody goes to the hospital and they go into the hospital. There's no computers anywhere, not a single computer. And they go, hey, what room is Cindy, whatever, in? And they go through the Rolodex. Just right there.
I had a Rolodex just until about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had everybody who's anybody in this town's like personal numbers.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is something.
It's just,
you know, but then I threw it away. I thought, why am I holding on to this?
It's just crazy.
Oh, here it is right here. Remember I said scented markers? Do you remember these?
Mr. Sketch. Scented watercolor markers.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man, I love those. I would smell them all the time.
Yep. Typewriters.
I love it.
Gone.
Yep. Typewriters.
Everybody had a typewriter.
If you have a, you know, you can think of something that's gone, some invention that's gone now that we don't ever use. Give us a call, 320-KRMD.
Just think it's interesting.
We got to play some partners now. I think what was the other one we were talking about?
But that's in my lifetime that I was actually running credit cards through that stupid machine. like why wasn't there more fraud back then? You know,
Oh,
it seems like you could have just made yourself a little card, pretended it was real. And
there probably was somebody.
You know,
oh, yesterday at the
maybe
gas
it was harder
station,
to make stuff.
I took my Kroger card and he tapped it. I didn't know you could do this on the word go on the gas stations. It has go and it lights up.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick it in the machine anymore.
Yeah.
I said, when did they add
And
this?
that's for safety. They do that so you don't have those credit card scanners where they stick that thing in there and then steal your number.
I didn't know what he was doing. The gentleman came out to tell me because I said, this doesn't work. And he goes, tap.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yep.
Anyway.
Phone book.
Oh, yeah. We probably have a phone book around here somewhere. We keep old stuff here.
What do you need a phone book for anymore? It's just crazy. All the stuff that was just, you would always have a phone book. You would never think that you couldn't have a phone book. We had stacks of phone books.
Remember how big the phone books used to be? Well, the other day, someone threw a phone book on our front porch because my dog went nuts.
Yeah.
It was this little. It was like 5 pages of ads.
Yeah.
There was nothing else but ads.
That's
I
crazy.
thought, why don't waste your money on a phone book, y'all. Please don't waste your money.
The yellow pages and the white pages. And I was from Denver.
Oh, so they were like this big.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like, ugh, it was huge.
That's so
They're
funny.
all just gone. All that stuff. Paper is almost gone. It's crazy.
That's sad. All right. Well, that does it for us, Melinda and Mason. Y'all have a beautiful day. If you can think of anything, put it down in the comments.
Obsolete.
Obsolete stuff.
Used to be everywhere.
All right.
Like the phone booth. Gone for good.
Bye, guys.